Hey everyone! We're back with another garden tour. Since last week, everything has grown so much because we had really hot weather and we had I think two or 3 days of rain. So that combined with the heat and the water and everything, amazing growth. We have lots of tomatoes, the peppers, everything looks great. So I'm gonna take you guys to go check it out with me. So here are the fava beans. So obviously they haven't gotten taller or anything but from before because they're almost at the end of their lives since they're all fruiting. But we have so many fava beans. Like each plant has at least maybe at least 10 or 15. They all have plenty of fava beans. We've harvested many fava beans already. Haven't cooked any of them yet, but they do taste really good when they're raw, so we just have those as like a snack. There's so many. Unfortunately, we've had some pests. I don't know if, let's see if we can see that right there, how it's all black and there's just stuff on it. This one, I don't know what types of bugs eat it, but they're like little black things and they're just all over the plant and it looks really gross. So, but that's okay. All of our, I'd say out of all the seeds that we planted and grew and everything, I'd say 90% out of 100 we had success. So I'm gonna find a nice fava bean to show y'all, and then I'm gonna show you the inside and how they look. Let's see, we have some here. I think I'll just pick this one. Alright, so here's a fava bean. Just has a coarse green shell. This pod is kind of small. Usually there's I'd say about 5 beans in each pod when you let them fully grow, but this one only has 2, so it's still small. The outside is kind of leathery and it's thick and hard, but if you peel it, if you open it, on the inside you'll find your fava beans. Alright, so there are the fava beans. So you can see, yeah, there's just 2 in there. And you can eat these raw. You can eat these how they are. But if you do that, so you don't have to do this, but I like to do it because I don't like sour flavors. So you would peel the outside of the chickpea. So and just cut it open, and then you can, when you peel it, you'll reveal another little bean in here. And then this part, it tastes so good. It's I can't really describe it. It's I mean, it tastes like a fava bean, but it's really fresh and light, so I like those a lot. Some people eat them with the whole entire shell and skin on, but I don't like it that way because it's really it's kind of sour and I don't really like the taste. So, but yeah, it's really simple. You just peel the outside. Oh, this one's bean is really small. Yeah, and then here's the inside of the shell. It's kind of it has a type of, it's furry, so it's soft and yeah, it's kind of nice. Here are the pole beans. Last week there was only one that was attaching to the fence so far, but this week we have, I don't know, maybe 10 attached to the fence. So lots of growth, lots of progress this week. No flowers yet, no fruits yet. It's gonna be another maybe another 3 weeks or so. Remember the cucumbers next to the fava? Here they are. Last week, I believe there was only one plant that was really attached to this trellis, but now every plant is attached to the trellis and they're climbing up. We got one that made it all the way to the top, and then it's gonna just attach to the fence. But yeah, there's a bunch of flowers down here. So we're gonna have lots of cucumbers. Here's a look at the main garden. We have a lot of progress in this garden since last week. It's amazing. So many peppers, so many tomatoes. The pumpkin plants are thriving. The corn, everything is just looking amazing. You can see here that everything has not doubled in size, but I'd say almost double in size. So these look really, really good. I have a lot of pruning to do, but I am so impressed with how these peppers are doing. And even these eggplant here. Last week they looked like this last row. This last row we just planted maybe 2 weeks ago, but today they look amazing. The leaves are so big and beautiful. I forgot to show you guys this voluntary tomato plant that started growing in the peppers. Gonna keep him there, see what kind of tomato he is. Alright, so remember this first pepper plant right here? I showed you guys that there was one I'd say a centimeter long pepper, and then the other peppers, maybe 2 or 3 of them, they were little baby peppers. You could barely notice that it's a pepper. Look at them today. This is exactly 1 week later. They got humongous in 1 week's time. Look at that. Amazing. These are the Jimmy Nardello peppers. And the plant next to it, let's see. Oh, we have some small peppers. A couple small ones, and then there's a few flowers, but next week I'm excited for next week, because if we have this much progress this week, I can't imagine how much progress we're gonna have next week. Wow, y'all, this is awesome. So I come over to these eggplants. Look at what I see. A beautiful flower. 2 actually. There's 2 amazing flowers here. So hopefully next week in the new vlog, we'll see 1 or 2 eggplants in this plant. How exciting is that? So last week, behind all of the peppers and the eggplants, I planted, it's really dry right now, but I planted a line of sunflower seeds, and there's actually quite a few of them germinating. Here's one sunflower that has germinated. We have 2 more over here. These in the middle are radishes. I planted these seeds 2 weeks ago, and I have radishes. That is mind-blowing. That's amazing. You plant a seed in the ground, water it, take care of it, whatever, 2 weeks go by, and you have food. Isn't that amazing? Just 2 weeks and you can grow your own food in your home. Next to the radishes, I have beets. This is my first time growing beets, and we have a few that popped up. I'm excited. Here's some more over here. I'm not really a huge beet eater, but I'm always into growing something new, so I thought, why not? I'll just grow some beets and maybe make a Greek salad later. I planted carrot seeds next to the radishes, so there was 2 small lines here, but nothing has been really germinating, so honestly I think the carrots this year are no-go. And here's my favorite project, the cucumber TP. Now last week I planted these seeds about 3 days before I posted the video last week. And this week, wow, so many cucumbers have germinated. It looks amazing. Come around to this side. See, we have at least one on each pole. So if I have too many, like I have quite a few over here, then I'll just transplant them and plant some of them to the other side so that it evens out, so it's not so compacted together. But that looks awesome. Here are the pole beans from last week. Last week, the day I posted the video, they were planted. So this is exactly 7 days of the beans growing, and you can see that 7 days they were a seed and they have become beautiful little plants, little seedlings. And each there's beans growing on each pole, like all of the poles have germinated. Here's a little small seedling. Here's my little pumpkin patch. So all these pumpkins here are growing. They're starting to shoot the vines out. Not so much on this side, but on the other side I'll show you. Here, these ones are still really small. I transplanted these ones last week. So last week these all had 3 leaves. They had this leaf, and this leaf. So this leaf is new. Same thing with these. They only had 3 leaves last week, so now they have at least 4 or 5 each. Here are some more pumpkin plants. These are Jacoby Little. Transplanted them last week. They're still super small. And I have some more transplants here from last week. And these have been here for maybe 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks maybe. They look amazing. They started growing their vines. Some of them started shooting towards the tomatoes, and we don't want that. So I trained them to grow towards this patch of grass here. I'm going to show you guys how I did that. So here we can see, so this is the vine here. It's the beginning of the vine. So that is starting to grow towards the grass. So this one did it by itself. That's awesome. This one is doing the same thing. It's growing towards the grass. And same with this one over here, growing towards the grass. So that is what we want. But if they don't do that, which there's a possibility that they don't, then you can use 2 sticks. I have to, right here. So I got 2 sticks and I put one on either side of the vine. Can't find where the other one's at. Maybe it fell, I don't know. But I put it on either side of the vine, and that will just show it to where it should grow. So once it gets longer, like now I need to put another stick right in the dirt over here so that it will keep it growing towards this way. Here's the corn. It's doing really good. Last week I planted some more corn, and I think I only see one that has germinated. So this right here, this is a corn that has germinated. And oh, I think this one is a corn too that has germinated. So not too much luck. Oh, you know what? I see another one. Yeah, it's right there. Here's the rapini. Last week we harvested some in the beginning of the week, and then the plants, they looked a little bit like unhealthy, and they looked like really thin. They weren't so full. But this week we have so much growth, and I tasted one of the leaves. And so this vegetable, this leafy green, is supposed to be a little bit sour. So the first ones that we ate, they weren't much sour because they were the first leaves, you know. So these ones, they have been on here longer and they're greener and they're not as tender, but they're still tender and they're super bitter. So that's awesome. That's what you want in these type of greens. These are rapini greens. Here are the Brussels sprouts. Got a little bit bigger from last week. We have some pests, but it's okay. It's not too much. Here are the zucchini. They grew so much since last week, and I see zucchini on these. So last year, or not, I keep saying last year, last week, there was like barely any zucchini. Now this week, oh my gosh, I see one that we'll be able to pick in like two days maybe. Look at this zucchini. I'd say it's about 8 inches long. Wow, that is awesome. And we have more too. There's a small one over here. There's some everywhere. We've been getting so many flowers from the zucchini plants as well. There's another zucchini. There's another zucchini here too. Wow. These zucchini are still really small. These are gonna need at least like 2 or 3 weeks to look like this. But this first plant is really the only plant that has zucchini right now. So these ones, I see like little tiny zucchini. So probably next week we'll have a lot of zucchini on this plant next week. In last week's vlog, I forgot to mention my watermelon. I have watermelon growing, and I also have some cantaloupe growing down over here. It's my first time growing watermelons or cantaloupes. My grandfather has done it many times, but I've never done them before, so I'm really excited. I hope they turn out. I know that watermelons need to be watered quite a bit because they're watermelons, so we'll see. I'm super excited for these ones. And now here is that big pumpkin plant that we have here. There's a few pumpkins on here. So we have this little baby one. And we have this one right here. This one is the biggest. It's a little pumpkin over there. That's the biggest one that we have. And then we have some more really small ones too. Gotta look for them. They're like, oh, see, here's another little small one in there. It's being blocked by that little vine, but there's another one. Yeah, so we have quite a few on these 2 plants. There's 2 plants here. So we'll probably get maybe like 10 pumpkins from these plants. That's awesome. Here's the last thing I'm gonna show you guys today. It's super hot here in Michigan. It's like 95 degrees right now, so I'm sweating. It's like I can't breathe. It's too hot. So I'm gonna show you guys. These are the last things I'm gonna show you. My tomatoes. So I need to do the stakes again, another row of stakes for each tomato plant, but they have grown so much since last week. Last week we weren't seeing too many tomatoes, but this week there are many tomatoes. There's, I'd say almost each plant has at least 1 tomato, except the little small plants that I just planted last week. So they are looking wonderful. Alright, so here's some cherry tomatoes. They might be golden nugget or just red cherry tomatoes. Not too sure. Here we have a nice little cluster of tomatoes. I believe these are Beefmaster tomatoes. So it's a nice little cluster of those. We have some growing back here, some little baby ones. So a lot of these plants have tomatoes, which is so awesome. Here are some San Marzano tomatoes. Those look so beautiful. There's actually so many in this cluster. Wow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, 8 tomatoes right there. Looking. I just love to walk around and look at the tomato plants because it's so cool. Every day you always find a new tomato. More cherry tomatoes. These are actually not cherry tomatoes. These are San Marzano because they're too big to be cherry tomatoes. Let's see. Look at this beautiful shaped tomato. Look at that. There's 4 up here. Beautiful. Oh, here's 2 more. Thank you so much for watching. This concludes my garden tour. It is super hot out here and I'm ready to go inside. So yeah, I showed you guys most of the progress for my vegetable plants. Everything is doing great. Everything's looking good. Hopefully next week I'll get into depth. I'll show you how I stake these tomatoes up. I'll show you some things about pruning. And maybe next week I will show you my little flower garden that I planted. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed. And again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate it. Thanks guys. Have a wonderful day.